right, so what are we going to do now, Raj?
Well, we're going to recheck his back. We checked it. It was off in the hips and the low back and the lumbar spine and the sacrum. And now as I palpate this, and I can push pretty firmly, there's a little complaint back here around the hips still. That will treat. And this is right where the hip joint from the femur joins the leg bone joins the hip. And we may never, no matter how much I do this, we may not get it to correct fully from that sensitivity because he could have some arthritis in that hip. Big dogs will develop hip dysplasia and hip arthritis and such a lot faster than cats because of their sheer weight, just like older people do or bigger humans. The main thing about hips in people and in animals, if you maintain the strength of the muscles, you'll maintain the alignment of your hips a lot better, and then you'll stay in better shape. I wish more veterinarians knew some of the chiropractic manipulations that they could do to help prevent that problem and correct them in dogs and cats, but it's just not a very popular thing, although it's gotten more so over the last 10 or 15 years. So now I'm ready to look for what he might be allergic to or out of balance with, per se. And when I say allergic, it doesn't mean that he's having an allergic reaction. That's why I like the term brain-body harmonizing, because that says, is the brain tuned into the body and the muscles and the bones or environmental things or food 100%? And he's off with something. And it's emotional. So you can be out of balance with environmental stuff like the towel or the leather or the vinyl or the outdoors or the dirt or the grass or the flowers or the pollens or anything like that. And you can be off with foods. But you're going to be also out of balance because there's some emotional issues up. And we see that in cats and dogs. It does require this ability, either if you're a psychic and you just read the energy of the animal, or people say they tell me I'm psychic. Well, what I'm really doing is, and yes, I've been doing this long enough, 33 years now, 34 years, that you start to develop an intuition. Even when I was just a few years out of school, I would get this hit that this animal needed vitamin B12 or this one needed this. And they didn't teach us that in school so much. And I didn't know where that was coming from until I came to Los Angeles in '92 and learned muscle response testing. And that was a really big eye-opener to be able to develop a technique that was assessing their energy, giving me the insights I needed to know exactly what they needed. And people say, well, it's not 100% accurate. That's correct. But it's a lot better than just guessing, the wild-ass guess, as we say, which is what's happening most of the time with most medical practice. Older practitioners, more experience, they'll read the energy differently and say, oh, no, this cat doesn't need that, it needs this. But through muscle response testing, you don't have to be that old to figure out exactly what's off with them and what you can do for it.